Cloud computing is an interesting industry because it involves data that always has to move somewhere. Nothing can happen in the cloud until you get the data up there, and nothing you do in the cloud matters until you can get data back out. So there's always a wide area network component involved. What we've seen happen a lot with cloud computing is, especially with companies that are new to it or doing initial migrations, they tend to think only of what's going to happen in the cloud and the infrastructure involved, and not take a close enough look at what it takes to get data there initially and what it's going to take to keep that data up to date on an ongoing basis. One of the things that we see in cloud migration projects is an assumption that if you have a certain amount of bandwidth, that's the speed data is going to move. We often get panicked calls from people who say they have a gigabit line, but they're only getting a couple hundred megabits, and now their entire project is looking to be months behind schedule because they don't know why the data isn't moving at the hardware speeds. And that's something that we fix very, very directly with our software. Another area in cloud where we can be very helpful is in trying to send data over public networks as opposed to private networks. Commonly, a recommendation that people will get when they need to do big data center migrations or ongoing data transfers is to get a private connection directly to the cloud. Those types of connections are very, very expensive, running into thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars per month. We found that our software is able to transfer data over the public internet at vastly reduced costs, at about the same speeds as you can go over those private networks. This allows not only infrastructure savings, but it also makes for much more flexibility in where you can transfer data from and where you can transfer data to. CloudDat is our technology for moving files into the cloud and out of the cloud as fast as the infrastructure can go, particularly over public internet access, where the public network is a lot less expensive than dedicated connections. CloudDat is basically Expedat that can talk to cloud storage on the back end. With CloudDat, you get an Expedat server deployed on a computing instance and the ability to talk to S3 object storage on the back end. So for the end user perspective, it's like you're accessing files, but they're really objects stored in an S3 bucket. With CloudDat in AWS, you also have the ability to use it by the hour and pay only by the hour. We have some customers that have standing CloudDat instances that don't charge any money while they're turned off, but once or twice a month they can turn it on, transfer terabytes of data in a few hours, and then turn it off. We have other customers who take advantage of our monthly subscription volume savings to deploy CloudDat at scale, often multiple instances scaling up and down at need, running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. CloudDat provides that on-demand model that is very prevalent in cloud and very useful for highly variable workflows, while also providing the underlying infrastructure of Expedat to give accelerated, easy to integrate file and object transfer.